Hey everyone, this is me, Lance Mike, the Undead Viking. I want to talk to you really quick about player counts in games. Now, several years ago, and this is, like over whatever, 10 years ago, I was at a convention and somebody had got out their game Le Havre or Le Havre or whatever. If you're not aware of it, it is a very, very clever, very, very fun, but somewhat dry, I guess, game by Uwe Rosenberg. This was after he had come out with Agricola, or right around the exact same time. Anyway, it is a game that I was enjoying at the time. I'd only played it a couple of times and I was interested in playing it again. And somebody asked me if I wanted to play. And I said, absolutely. I'd love to play the game. So we started setting it up, and there were three of us. The game handled up to four. And then somebody else walked over and said, hey, I'd never played that. Would it be cool for you to teach? And we were like, yeah, sure, we'll teach it to you. Go ahead and sit down. Except for one of the three of us, and I don't know who this guy was. I can picture him in my mind, but I don't remember who he was or a name or anything. And he said, "Well, I don't want to play it with four." And me and the other gentleman, the person who owned the game, looked at him and said, "Well, why not?" And he said, "Well, Le Havre or Le Havre is really only a good game if you play it with three." And we kind of looked at him incredulously. I was like, "Well, can we just play with four?" And he said, "Well, no. If you're going to have another person join, then I'll just find another game to play because it won't be fun." Now, the fourth person that asked just said, "No big deal. I'll find another game." And he went off and, played another game, presumably. And me and the other two people played our game of Le Havre. And we had fun. And I since played Le Havre with two or four people, and I didn't notice any real big difference in the enjoyment of the game at all. But that stuck in my brain. It stuck there that this person really felt that the amount of enjoyment they could get out of a game was best at three. And not only best at three, but best to the point of would not play it with a number that's less than that. And that seemed just so crazy to me. I mean, there's lots of other games. Yes, if you have more or less, the game is enjoyable. And I never really experienced that particular feeling until many years later at that exact same convention. I sat down to play Grand Budapest Hotel. Now, a disclaimer, at this time, I do believe they've changed the rules in Budapest, so you don't have this anymore in the game. But at that time, it had a snake draft process of doing your turns. Each person would get like two actions during a round, and it would start with the first player, and then the second player, third player, fourth player, and then the fourth player you have to go again, then third, second, first, if you're following me. And if you were that first player, you got, yeah, hey, I get to take an action. That's awesome. But the problem is that actions took a while to suss out on your turn. And it could be, and I'm not lying here, depending upon the players and depending upon the spot in the game, that first player, you would sometimes wait 20 to 30 minutes before you got to take another action. And that was ridiculous. But I really liked the game and I kind of saw over that. And then I realized, wait a minute, this would be so much better if I was playing this game with two people or with three. And I realized maybe that's what that person was talking about. Not necessarily the amount of time between turns or anything with Lav, but maybe just there was something like that, something that's that jarring that if you play with less people, you or more, you change that. But anyway, that's just something I was thinking about and about player counts in games. And I was hoping maybe you could tell me if you're watching this video, what's a certain game that you'll play that is markedly better with a certain player count. Let me know in the comments, and I'll read every single one of them, and yeah, I'll comment back. So anyway, that's me, Lance from Gray Fox Games. Have a great day.